I have never seen a woman with such big hands.
Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation.
Hello everyone, it's Hara in Korea, and today I would like to tell you guys a story time about my worst first date in Korea. So before we get into this video, if you guys are not subscribed to my channel, I would greatly appreciate if you subscribe to my channel. I really want to grow my channel, and I feel like my subscribers are not growing anymore, my engagement is not growing anymore, and I don't understand why. So if you're not subscribed to my channel, please do that before we go ahead and get into this video. And yeah, let's get into the story time. So if you guys are not new to my channel, then you already know that thankfully Brianna has made it out of the treacherous dating world in Korea and has found the love of her life. So thankful. But before 2022, which is when I met my current boyfriend, it was rough. It was so rough. And I'm sure if you've seen my other videos, you guys know how rough it was. But anyway, this story takes place back in 2020. So I feel like 2020, you know, it was very hard to go out and meet people. So everybody was very active on these dating apps. And so I was setting up first dates left and right, you know? So yeah, as always, I met this wonderful person on Tinder and I matched with him. There was nothing like particular that stood out about his profile. I feel like back then I was like matching with like everybody, but I thought his profile picture was cute. My type in men varies a little bit, and I'm not super particular, especially if you're just gonna be nice to me, and especially at that time I just wanted someone to be nice to me, you know? So I was not being too particular, but I thought he was cute in his profile picture. So we matched, and I didn't want to wait around too long, so within a week of talking we decided that we were gonna go on a date. He asked if we wanted to get dinner, and I said sure, and he suggested that we get Korean fried chicken. Now, I do not like Korean fried chicken that much. It's not that it's not good, it's just that it doesn't really come with side dishes. It's just chicken, and I'm like, I can't just eat chicken, I need side dishes. But I didn't want to suggest something that he wouldn't like, and I mean, I can eat chicken once in a while, so I was like, sure. So he's like, oh, do you know any chicken places that you like? And I was like, not really, I don't eat chicken that often. And he's like, oh my goodness, well, my favorite restaurant is this one, and I would really like to go here. Cool, great, let's meet there. So we set the time, the date, all that stuff, and the day comes around for when it's time for us to meet. Whenever I'm going on a date, I like to get there like 20 minutes early, sometimes earlier, just because I want to see where it's at. I want to make sure that I'm not going to be late, make sure I can find the place. So I got there 20 minutes early, but I didn't want to be waiting outside the restaurant for 20 minutes. So I'm just walking around. I went to a convenience store. I'm on my phone. I'm across the street from the restaurant. The whole time I'm walking around this place, there's a man just standing outside the restaurant. And we had decided that we were going to meet outside of the restaurant, but I didn't think it was him. One, because it was too early, and two, because it looked nothing like him. Like, I was looking at this man from a distance, but I could tell, I was like, that is not the man that I matched with on Tinder. Eventually, it's about 5 or 10 minutes after the time we're supposed to meet, so I'm really confused. Or is he? Nobody else has come and waited outside the restaurant. So I text him, I'm like, oh, where are you? Are you already here? And he's like, oh yeah, I'm here, I'm waiting outside the restaurant. There was only one person waiting outside the restaurant, and it was that man that I saw who'd been waiting there for so long. Okay, so mind you, at the time, I was not very particular. Like I said, I just wanted you to be nice to me. You know, if you looked similar to my style, that was good enough for me, okay? I had low standards. I'm not proud of them at the time, but live and you learn. So this man looked nothing like his picture. When I saw him up close in person, I could tell that his picture was taken at least 5 to 7 years ago. It looked completely different. He looked much older. I am not judging anybody's weight. I don't care. You know, if you're bigger, that's great. We can cuddle. I don't care. I don't care. I'm not a skinny person myself. I really don't care. But he was at least 100 pounds bigger than his profile picture that he had on Tinder. His style was not very good. It kind of looked like sloppy, like he didn't put any effort into it. And I'm not expecting you to come looking like dressed up like a model, but just, you know, clean clothes would be nice. You know, he just had on like a plain shirt that had a stain on it, and it just looked like he put zero effort into coming here. His hair was greasy, but I'm already here and maybe he's just nervous and maybe it won't be so bad. I also just didn't want to make an awkward situation. Like, what was I supposed to do? Like, after he told me he was there and I went up to the restaurant, like, it was too late for me to like bounce. So I was like, okay, whatever, I'll eat some chicken. We'll see how this goes. So we go into the restaurant. It is summertime, and if you know anything about Korean summer, it is super, super, super hot and super, super, super humid. So inside this restaurant, it was hot, it was humid. They didn't have the air conditioning on. They had like a couple giant fans and it was not cooling down the place at all. It was extremely dark inside, and not like that mood lighting dark. It was just like really dark, like terrible lighting. It looked dingy, a little dirty. They were not playing music in the restaurant, and so it was eerily quiet. The fact that he said, this is my favorite chicken restaurant in Daejeon, and he like hyped it up. This is your favorite? Like, I could not believe that that was his favorite restaurant. Anyway, again, already too late for me to back out is how I felt. So we sit down. He immediately starts looking at the menu. He suggests what we should order. I'm like, great, sounds amazing. And after we place our order, I figure we would have a conversation, you know, get to know each other. So I'm really trying my best to have a good conversation with him. But I have never been on a date where it felt like an interview. I was asking this man so many questions and he would just give one sentence answers and he would not ask me a question back. And every time I would ask him a question, he'd give me a one sentence answer and then I would have to respond to my own question that I asked. He didn't say anything after that. He did not care. It was so awkward. And this was going on for like 20 minutes of me basically just talking to myself. So after our food comes, we did not talk the whole time we were eating, which was about 20 minutes or so. The moment the food got to us, he dug in. He was devouring this food. And again, I'm not judging people, like if you're hungry, eat. But I just feel like have some table manners. Like, I feel like he was just being really rude. I don't know, like he was eating super quickly. He had sauce dripping down his face. He was making so many sounds while eating. And I know that when Korean people are eating, like they can be loud eaters. That means the food's good. I'm not judging that. But I'm saying smacking his lips, just so rude. And I couldn't believe that I was on this date with this man who was eating like this. And I remember, I don't think I ate that much. Like, I don't know how many pieces of chicken came with the set. It could have been anywhere from like 15 to 18 pieces or so. I think I had 2 pieces because I was stunned. I was like, how is he eating like this on a first date? And he was just gobbling down all the food. But after we were done eating, he asked me if I want to split the bill. The answer is no, because I ate 2 pieces of chicken and you ate everything. Okay, I don't want to split the bill, but we split the bill. And after we get outside the restaurant, I figured he had a terrible time because he did not talk to me at all. And he asked me, he's like, oh, do you want to go to a cafe? So I was like, sure. After this day, I am not planning on seeing this man again, talking to this man again or whatever. I just don't want to be awkward and rude. So I'm like, sure, let's go to a cafe. So we go to the cafe, and finally, once we got to the cafe, he started talking to me. Maybe he was just hangry before. I, for the life of me, do not remember anything that he asked me or anything that we talked about, but I do remember 2 very specific comments that he made that upset me greatly. The first comment that we made was in the middle of our conversation, and I pick up my coffee to drink it, and he immediately looks at my cup of coffee and I'm wondering, like, what is he looking at? He kind of has like this gross, disgusted look on his face. He then tells me, he's like, I have never seen a woman with such big hands. I was stunned after he said this, and he kept going, your hands are just really, really big. Like, I've never seen someone who has that big of hands. And I'm thinking in my head, who says that? Maybe my hands are big. I don't know. That's not the point. They are not unbelievably gigantic to the point where you need to make a comment about how big my hands are. And I've never thought my hands were big until that moment. I was like, oh, like maybe I have bigger hands than like someone who's tiny, but okay. And so after we bypassed that moment and he went back to asking me other questions about myself, he then said, I think your skirt is too short. It's inappropriate. Why would you wear that on a first date? Now, there were a lot of things going through my head when he said this. First, I'll put a picture of the skirt I was wearing. It was summertime, but I did have tights under this skirt. I admit it's not the longest skirt, you know, but it was not inappropriate, especially with tights under the skirt. Also, why are you commenting on my outfit and my clothes? Like, at least I look like my picture, okay? I look like my Tinder picture. I had my hair the same way it was in my Tinder picture. I was not 100 pounds bigger than my Tinder picture. I did not look dingy. I put effort into my outfit. I did my makeup, and you came here looking sloppy. Like, how dare you comment on my clothes and my choice and my hands when you look like a bum? But I did let the hand thing pass, but the skirt thing made me so upset because how dare you tell me that my skirt is inappropriate? Like, if you think it's inappropriate, keep it to yourself. I don't care. So after he said that, I was extremely salty. I feel like I dissociated the rest of the time we were at the cafe. I was just ready to leave. I stopped talking to him. I stopped answering, and I really should have just gotten up and left. I don't know why I don't, you know, but 2020 Brianna did not stick up for herself. So anyway, I don't know how much longer after that we decided to leave. As we're leaving, he like puts his arms out to give me a hug, and I just want to get out of there as fast as possible, but I gave him a hug. Ugh. And I left that date extremely happy at the fact that I would never have to see that man again. I knew I was not messaging him. I didn't even feel like it was worth blocking him because he also didn't message me either, because I was like, why are we both wasting our time here? So you clearly think I have gigantic hands, and you clearly think that I dress inappropriate, and you clearly thought that I was not worth engaging in a conversation with. So I knew he was never gonna message me again, which is great. Never wanted to hear from that man again. And I don't really have anything else left to say about that story, except that 2020 Brianna, wish she would have stuck up for herself a little bit more. But you live and you learn. I still have so many dating stories to tell, and I really like telling these stories because it's kind of funny to go back and look at, like, oh my goodness, Brianna, what you were willing to accept is ridiculous. But yeah, if you guys would like to hear more stories, or if there's any other type of content that you would like to watch on my channel, please let me know in the comment section down below. If you have ever had any terrible dating experiences in Korea, please also let me know down below what was your worst first date or your worst date in general in Korea. I would love to hear those stories and, you know, support each other or laugh about it after the fact. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you're not subscribed to my channel, I would greatly appreciate if you did that. Please leave a comment down below, and please give this video a like, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.